Hi, everybody. This is the I Care About You podcast, and I'm Juliana J. And today we're talking about how to get what you want. I just took notes in my journal this morning about this because it just came to me as something we should talk about today, being is that today, depending on when you're watching this, today is a new moon, and that means new things and renewal. There's been so much talk about this particular new moon that I thought it might be nice to talk about some simple ways you can shift your life in order to get what you want out of it. So before we begin, I just want to remind everybody that I have a book out, Reasons to Live. I'll put the link in the description if you're interested. This book is really about helping people through dark times and helping yourself through dark times. But a lot of what's in here you can apply to your life in general when you yourself are struggling a little bit or someone you love is also struggling. How to kind of shift your own mindset and help somebody else, or even not so challenging, but just gaining some skills in how to talk to folks about hard things. Today, we're talking about how to get what you want. And I'm going to talk about two really simple techniques that you can apply to your life anywhere at any time. And what these techniques do is really over time, you train your brain to shift into a different way of thinking about yourself and your future. So first, how do you get what you want? How do you even know what you want sometimes? Society puts a lot of pressure on us to want certain things. Like we're all supposed to succeed in our careers, climb a corporate ladder, make a lot of money, get married, have children, buy a house, all these kind of mainstream beliefs in how to live life. And we sometimes just grow up thinking those are our own desires, and we never stop to analyze if those constraints that society puts on us as all the things we're supposed to do are really what we want in life. So how do you tease out what you want in life from what society wants you to be or do or have? Sometimes a lot of the ideas we have about what we should be come from really silly childhood memories or thoughts. For example, I know plenty of people who felt that their career had to be this certain thing because when they were a child and they dressed up for Halloween as a fireman or a CPA or some kind of career type costume, and the adults were like, "Oh, you're so cute. Jane, you should be a police officer, or you should be this fire person," or whatever it is. And in your mind, you think as a kid, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be a firefighter because everybody thinks that would be good for me." And you grow up with that thought that you have to be a firefighter. Okay, I need to say, I said fireman earlier, which is an archaic term, and I'm replacing it with firefighter because I'm winging this particular podcast, and hopefully I do it gracefully. So anyway, back to the firefighter. You might think you need to be a firefighter simply because you had a costume when you were 5 that everybody thought was great and then continue to talk about for your entire life. Remember when Jane was the firefighter? Oh, how cute. You never stopped to think if you really wanted to be that. And believe it or not, a lot of people will base that choice on some childhood belief like that. It can also be your parents saying, "Oh, are you going to be a whatever, like your great grandfather or like your dad or like me?" And that creates a lot of pressure when you're a child and you think, "Oh, yes, I guess I should be that. I should be a nurse or a doctor or whatever it is because my parents were that and I need to follow in their footsteps." And especially if there's a generational thing where there's been a great grandfather, a grandfather, a father, a great grandmother, a grandmother, a mom, or whatnot that has carried on a particular career through a couple of generations. You often feel that you need to follow in that trajectory, and it's really hard to pick your own path. What is your path? First, identify what your current goals are, what you think they are. Like for me, it definitely was climbing a corporate ladder to some degree and achieving these higher statuses, these higher job description or job titles, right? And I never stopped to think if I even wanted that or didn't want that. I did achieve that, and I continue to work in that space of higher level leadership. I enjoy it immensely, but for a long time, that was just what I was supposed to do. I was proving to everybody else that I was worthy. And only until I did some internal work did I feel like, well, I really do enjoy that strategic component, but I don't necessarily want to climb this corporate ladder and be someone who's pulling other people down to get there or doing all these things you're supposed to be doing when you climb a corporate ladder. I don't want to necessarily engage in those politics and that drama and that backstabbing kind of culture. Identify, what have your goals been in life? Has it been climbing a corporate ladder? Has it been getting married? Has it been having children? Has it been obtaining certain things like homes, cars, etc. in your life? What are the things that you feel would tell you you've been successful? Is it graduating college? What is it? Write it down. Kind of keep it to 5 things. Let's stay really simple this time. 5 things, you're going to write down what they are. Then look at them. Where did this originate? Did it originate from a childhood memory? Did it originate from your parents telling you this is what you should do? Did it originate from rigid beliefs that society you grew up in had that really shaped where you should be now? Is it expectations people had on you? Or is it your own desire and dream? Identify what those things are. Are any of those your own desires and dreams? If they are, you want to circle those. Those are the ones you're going to concentrate on for this exercise, and you can create some new ones. If none of those on your list are your own desires, what are your own desires? What are they? Think about the things that you like to do that bring you joy. And it's not, I want to lay in bed all day, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about that because we all would like to do that now and again, but it will get boring over time. Trust me. So what are some things? Maybe that laying in bed all day is really, I don't want to work a traditional 9 to 5, or I want to be my own boss, or I want to be an entrepreneur. Really explore, what are these things you want out of life? What are your goals? And then just organize these 5 goals. So I have these 5 goals. Maybe 2 of them are true. For me, maybe it is. I do enjoy being in this leadership role, and I want to kind of now work on that and mentor other people and try to be the best I can and create some change where I can. Maybe some of it is, I'm just going to go through what mine are. Continuing to be a writer. That's been a lifelong dream of mine. It did come from a childhood memory with my mom. My mom loved books, and I do too. And I really want to continue forward with doing that. Doing this podcast, it's a lot of fun. I feel like I help a lot of people. People come up to me all the time about it, and I'm going to continue doing that. And I want to cultivate a relationship in my life, but not necessarily a traditional relationship or a relationship that ends up in a traditional role, but to have something that is fulfilling, long-term, growing together, somebody with similar interests to me, so I can share those things. And I want to explore new things, continue to do that, to continue to explore new things and what I would enjoy doing, and overcoming a few fears that I have that are keeping me from moving forward in certain areas in my life. Pick these 5 things that you want in your life. Okay. Now you're going to hone those down. Look at those 5 things and say to yourself, what could I hone these 5 things down into? What does this career goal, what does this goal about relationships, what is this goals about my personal life? How can I really hone this down into one sentence? What is it? And when you hone it down to one sentence, it's really about the words that resonate for you. Like for me, the word success doesn't just mean in a career trajectory. Success for me means happiness, fulfillment, financial security, being able to grow, and just in general, feeling really positive when I wake up and like, I want to pursue that and I've achieved something. That's what success means to me. So my sentence might be, I am successful beyond my wildest dreams, and I am still moving forward, or something of that nature. I'm just pulling it out of the hat. You might want to hone it a little bit, but we're talking about an I am sentence here. So you're going to start it with, I am successful, or whatever it is. Hone your 5 things down to a couple of words that resonate with you about what those 5 things are. It can be anything. Words can be love, compassion, creative, whatever these words are that represent your 5 goals in life, what you really want. Hone it down into one sentence that's general and encompasses all those things. Then, every day for the next 10 days, let's start small, write this sentence 10 times when you first wake up. When you first wake up, actually physically write the sentence down, say it out loud 10 times, and then go on with your day and do that for 10 days straight. And once you get to 10 days, do it for 10 days more and repeat that again until you've done this same exercise for 30 days. And see how that feels, if that feels any different for you, if you're starting to feel like, I am successful. You start to examine the spaces in your life where you are successful, and you start to feel successful. And once you feel successful and you're aware of your own success, the energy of that success starts to flow to you. You'll start feeling like you are more successful, you're getting more successful, you'll start doing the things to bring you more success, and you'll feel like opportunities are coming to you. So that's one mechanism that you can use. The other thing you can do is to divide what you want in life into 3 separate things. So one is your relationships. One is your career. What are you looking for to do? What is your life's work? And the other one is personal growth. So you have these 3 topics, and you want to create affirmations for each topic. Again, something general so you can kind of remember exactly what those 3 things are. You're going to use these 3 things once you create a sentence for each. Like mine might be, my career might be to achieve financial success and stability and do something I enjoy. My relationships might be to continue to foster deep, compassionate, kind, wonderful relationships and obtain a relationship that I can grow throughout the rest of my life. And my personal growth might be to overcome the fears that I have and continue to grow and enjoy new things. Just throwing it out there, I would put a lot more work into that. I wouldn't just on the top of my head, but you get the gist. Pick these 3 things, have 3 affirmations about it. I am successful and financially secure in my career, and I am fulfilled. I have deep, long-lasting relationships that continue to grow, and I continue to deepen those relationships, and I enjoy them. I am fearless. I don't let my fears stop me, and I move forward in learning new things always. Whatever those 3 affirmations are. And you're going to say those 3 affirmations to yourself every day. I also suggest you write them down every day. Get up in the morning, say those 3 affirmations. Say those 3 affirmations to yourself before you go to bed every day as well. And keep them the same. And do this for 30 days. So the sun is coming out. You move over a little and do that for 30 days. With both of these techniques, it's really important to add action behind your affirmations that you have for yourself. So if your affirmation is to be fearless, then what are you going to do every day to prove to yourself that you can be fearless? What are you going to do every day? And you don't have to do something that might be a way, way, way out of your comfort zone, you might want to pick something smaller, like I'm going to be fearless and order a new drink today that I've never ordered when I go to lunch with my friend, or I'm going to try these new things, or I'm going to take a class, which I would never do before because I'm always afraid people will judge me. I'm going to speak in public. It means to you to get out of your current comfort zone of being fearful, because that's your current comfort zone. That's my current comfort zone, to be fearful of certain things, right? And go into the space of being fearless for a minute, but pick things that are not so big you're hyperventilating and feeling like you're going to pass out. You can work up to those bigger things. For sure you should. But for now, just take these steps forward to what that might be with your personal affirmations and your relational affirmations. Like for me, this relational affirmation that I have, perhaps I should work on that. Like perhaps I should think, who can I really cultivate a deeper relationship with so that I can really cultivate this BFF kind of experience for myself? What can I do? Does this person exist somewhere else that I'm just not tapping into? I do have a lot of unusual interests, I guess, and it's kind of hard to find people who resonate with the same thing that I do. And I do have insecurities about getting in relationships with people. And so I do keep people kind of at arm's length. And I do that subconsciously, I've recently realized. And I'm trying to shift that. My comfort zone is to keep everybody at arm's length, and then I don't have to worry about being judged or anything like that. And I'm really working on stepping out of that comfort zone and developing relationships with people. I don't have the best skill set for it because I've spent a lifetime of keeping everybody at arm's distance. So I'm working on what that skill set is and trying to do a little bit of it every day in small ways, like just texting somebody when I think about it, whereas I would have thought about texting them before, but then I wouldn't have. Or calling somebody, which I've made a lifetime out of saying I hate talking to people on the phone, mostly because I don't want to get more intimate with people than I am. I'm keeping everybody at arm's distance, right? But making a phone call, way out of my comfort zone. Way out of my comfort zone. It seems so silly. And I'm sure some of you are like, what? But it's true. That's way out of my comfort zone. And I'm really working on trying to do that to foster relationships. So that's the action that I'm taking. You have to put action behind what these affirmations are. Saying them will shift your brain. The whole point of affirmations is to shift your beliefs about yourself, even just slightly, so that you're thinking, I am successful. I am worthy of relationships. It kind of counterbalances all the negative self-talk that we have in our lives, which all of us have negative self-talk. Some of us have it some of us just employ negative self-talk all the time for everything. And that's really hard to retrain, but you can. I did. You can. Sometimes it still comes back. Negative self-talk's always there. That's just part of the culture I grew up in. Always think you're not quite good enough. That wasn't really a family dynamic of mine in any shape or form, but I really felt it strongly in society at the time when I was a child. And so I have a lot of that. And I'm always trying to work through that. Negative self-talk's always there. Whenever I get a hit, something happens to me, I immediately think, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. People don't like me. People must not have liked what I did or what I said or who I am or a whole host of things, right? So getting out of your comfort zone is super, super important. Putting action behind your affirmations is super, super important. And also celebrating your achievements and milestones. Like if for a moment, one day at work, you actually feel that you are successful, celebrate that. Celebrate it. You step out of your comfort zone, celebrate it. We don't do that. We tend to think like we just set the bar higher. Once we achieve something, we never celebrate it. We just set the bar higher. And that kind of tells us that we aren't good enough because we didn't say, oh my gosh, I made this happen. This happened. I need to celebrate it. You don't have to celebrate it with like a giant party and a cake, and you celebrate it however you want to celebrate it. Whatever that celebration looks like for you, For me, it became like, okay, I'm going to go buy a really fancy coffee drink that I would never buy and sit in the coffee house and really enjoy it and maybe write in my journal or, really take that time out of the day to do that for an hour. And that was my celebration. And I loved it. I looked forward to it. I actually wanted to get a goal just so I could celebrate it in the way that I wanted to, which was to go buy a fancy drink, especially during the time of the year when there's a lot of festive drinks out. That was all really fun to do that. And I still do that. I've been doing that for well over a decade. So find a way to celebrate your accomplishments, even if they are smaller, even if you stepped out of your comfort zone today and you ordered a different drink or you used a different color pen or whatever the small thing is. Some people's comfort zone is really, really rigid. And just stepping out of it, like using a different pen than you would normally use, is really hard for people. So find these little things you can step out of your comfort zone about and do that. And when you do it, like say you go to a meeting this week or next, and you never ever talk at these group meetings, and you've challenged yourself to say something during the meeting, even if it is to just turn to the person next to you and go like, hey, I'm so-and-so. We've been at this meeting a couple times and I don't know who you are. Even if it's something like that, introducing yourself, and that's talking at the meeting, celebrate it. You need to celebrate all of these little things because it's important. It's important for you to not keep setting the bar higher and higher, or to think any accomplishment you have isn't worthy of a celebration of some kind. It is worthy. You are worthy. What you do does matter. And these things are important to both you and everyone else on the planet. So there you have it. 2 different ways you can change your reality with just these simple affirmation techniques. So let's go over them again. 1 is to write down 5 things, goals, things you want to achieve, things you want out of life, passions, however it looks to you. They might be all passions, might be all secret dreams, whatever they are. And then hone these 5 things into one sentence that begins with I am. I am successful, or I am creative, whatever it is. And the sentence can be long. And you're going to write that 10 times for 10 days when you first wake up in the morning. Or if you can't do it when you first wake up in the morning because you have a crazy morning, then pick a time during the day and do it consistently at that time of the day. You know what? I'm going to say write it 11 times for 11 days because 11, those numbers are really important, and they're a silent message that the universe is working with you. There's a lot of different ways to interpret 11. You can Google it if you want, but let's do it 11 times for 11 days, and then 11 more days, and 11 more days, and hone those after the 33 days into a more concise sentence. As you're moving along, maybe things have already shifted positively for you and you need to change the sentence a little bit. Do that. The other technique is to pick the 3 components of your life: relationships, personal growth, and life path, career, journey, whatever career means to you, your life path, your purpose. Take those 3 things and write affirmations for each one sentence affirmation for each one that incorporates what you want out of those things. I am successful at my job because I love what I do. It's creative and inspiring every day, and I'm financially secure as a consequence, and I am continuing to grow as a whatever it might be. I have a successful podcast that millions of people have subscribed to and is monetized, and I make money from it, and that allows me to do other things. Whatever it is, write those 3 things down and say them 3 times a day for 33 days. And then put action behind it, whatever those things are. Step out of your comfort zone a little bit every day, however you can, and also celebrate when you do. So there you have it. You'll be amazed at how it works. Trust me, it doesn't seem like you're doing much, but you really are. You're retraining your brain. You're helping to counterbalance that negative self-talk that you are experiencing, and we all do it, so don't feel bad. And you're working forward. You're really contemplating, you're thinking about, what do I want in life? Is this something that was instilled on me when I was a child and isn't even my own desire? What are my true desires and how do I feel about them? And just acknowledging that is huge. Believe me, I did a lot of work on that myself and I was really surprised at what I came up with. So until we meet again, take good care, my friends. Know that I love you. Know that I support you and you got this. You can do it. Oh, and also give some thought to what you want this podcast to be in 2025, because I'm going to be taking ideas from everybody and sculpting it into 2025 I Care About You podcast. So let me know what you think and how it goes, and I'll see you in the next one.